Do you think Matt Ryan should get traded? And if you do, what team should trade for Matt Ryan?
So, if Matt Ryan should get traded, I'm going to have to say no on that because Matt Ryan has proved year in and year out, and this is what kind of pisses me off with Atlanta fans is, fans that don't really know a whole lot about the game or they're just really being homers, they always want to look at just the main person, which is the quarterback for every team. But if you look at Matt Ryan's numbers, he is consistently within the top 7 to 8 every year of touchdown passes, completion percentage, and yards. So Matt Ryan's doing his job. Falcons fans should actually feel lucky that Matt Ryan has not wanted to bail on the team before now, because obviously since the Super Bowl collapse, the Falcons have had a tough time getting back to themselves. So do I think Matt Ryan should be traded? No, absolutely not. But if the Falcons want to blow it up and maybe go for Trevor Lawrence, which arguably every team in the NFL but maybe you would pick, then go for that as well. But if we're talking about a trade, I don't really know what Atlanta would rather ask back for. But if I really had to pick one team that I think Matt Ryan would absolutely go off with, I was brought down to two teams. It was either going to be the Minnesota Vikings or the Indianapolis Colts. But I really wanted to go with the Colts because I've seen holes in that Vikings line before. And Matt Ryan has obviously taken a beating in his career. And when you look at the Indianapolis Colts, you have an Ezekiel Elliott-type running back in Jonathan Taylor right now. That if the trade were to happen this season, Michael Pittman Jr. is going to come back healthy. T.Y. Hilton is eventually going to emerge. If I'm not mistaken, Eric Ebron plays for the Colts now, maybe. I'm not sure. If not, I know about Mo Alley Cox, the tight end for them. So I feel like Matt Ryan would really be a key piece in that Colts offense because we see Phillip Rivers struggling this year. The Colts offensively, roster-wise, I think they're top 7, top 8 in this league when you just look at weapon for weapon they actually have and how much magic they can really make on the field. And like I said, I was really thinking about the Vikings because you look at the Minnesota Vikings and they've always been short at quarterback for, a while. And you look at all the talent they have, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, before Stephon Diggs left, stop Kyle Rudolph, the defense took a huge step back. They're bottom 5 in the league right now in a lot of things. So I had to steer away from the Vikings. I think Matt Ryan's taken enough beatings, like I mentioned. But if there is one team that Matt Ryan would flourish with, I think absolutely right now, in today's NFL season, it is the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay, Adam. One last thing on Matt Ryan. Can he still lead a team to the Super Bowl if traded or with the Falcons and maybe they add some pieces to the team? Is he a Super Bowl caliber quarterback at 35 years old?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Here's always been the thing about Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has always been a good quarterback, but not a great one. And what makes you a great quarterback is when you don't have to be coached to success, when you can handle the adversity and when you can handle a bad defense and when you can handle some injuries and when you can still come out on top and when you can manipulate the line into a scoring play. And I'm not saying Matt Ryan has or hasn't done those things, but we've seen the career Matt Ryan has. So unless he has some traits in that he has not unlocked yet, Matt Ryan will always stay as a good quarterback. And referring to the question of really could he get a team back to the Super Bowl, absolutely I think he could. If he's behind the right offense and the right coach. The Falcons are definitely lost in those two categories right now. I would say in terms of coordinators and coaching, Falcons are arguably every year top 7 and top 8 again in the NFL in offensive categories, in yards and points. We know the Falcons can move the ball, but it's the coaching. Do I think he can go to another Super Bowl with the Falcons and win one? Absolutely. Everybody knows he should already have one. But as far as getting back, there's no question. The coaching just has to get right. The coordinating has to get right. And if he did go to another team, I went and looked at every other NFL team. And most teams in this league, even if they're a bad team, they're confident about their quarterback situation. You look at the Jets, Darnold's not terrible. You look at the football team, they just picked up Alex Smith. Kyle Allen, probably when he comes back from injury, Dwayne Haskins doesn't want to be there. Miami, they've got 2. You can go through so many of them. He would have to go to the Vikings or the Colts, and I think, without question, if he does go to the Colts like he should, if he leaves Atlanta, he could easily win a Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts. And look at the defense. Literally, Matt Ryan's 2 biggest problems would be wiped away. He's always been hindered by a poor Atlanta defense and a poor Atlanta offensive line for the most of his career. If you take those 2 away, we know Matt Ryan can play football if he has the time and if he has the protection.